Yeah, I don't think any of our football teams are any good. I think that's the problem.
No, that's facts.
Yeah,
That's facts.
we might as well start with that. So, welcome back to Over the Line. This is, I don't know, episode 5, I think. I'm not exactly sure. Thank you for tuning in. It has been a tough NFL week for the gang here. Usually, we like to start with the low points so we could finish high. There's not much good that happened in our three worlds this weekend. So I guess we'll start in Houston, where my Steelers got absolutely trounced by the Texans, 30-6. So we did picks last weekend against the spread. I did take the Texans to cover the spread, but with the caveat that I thought the Steelers were going to win this game. We did. This is not the team that showed up to play Cleveland. This is not the team that we have seen the last few weeks. Offense looked absolutely terrible. I don't think the Houston defense is anything to write home about, and we made them look fucking incredible. And then on top of that, I mentioned it when I made my pick last week. C.J. Stroud has been playing out of his mind. We made him look like prime rookie Andrew Luck. I mean, it was unreal, the throws that he was making. He only completed 16 passes, and he had 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just the efficiency through the air, chunking us with big plays. I mean, Nico Collins, we made him look like he's the best receiver that's ever touched the earth. Dameon Pierce just ran it down our throat all day, which Chris kind of alluded to last week. I guess really the only positives that I took out of this game is Najee ran the ball pretty well. He only had 14 carries, and he finished with 71 yards. For him, that's like the equivalent of a 130-yard day for any other running back. So that's a huge day for him. Jalen Warren's still not getting the type of touches I'd like to see him get. Kenny Pickett. Man, Kenny, I'm not gonna go too hard on you because I need you. And apparently, you're gonna play this week. I was ready to come in here and be Mitch Trubisky #1 fan club because I had no choice. So it looks like we're rolling with Kenny. He said he's gonna play as long as he's feeling up to it on game day. 15 completions. So he had one less completion than C.J. Stroud, and he had exactly half the yards. He had 114 yards to C.J. Stroud's 306 yards. No touchdowns, an interception. Just an all-time stinker from Kenny Pickett. Terrible pick. Hurt his knee. I was like, I don't, they were speculating that it was like an MCL injury when it first happened, so I thought we were going to lose him for quite a while. I'm saying a lot to say that we looked like absolute dog shit. And this was one of the lowest days I've had as a Steelers fan in recent memory because this Texans team is not supposed to do this to us. This is one of those things where you have to try to forget about it and move on to next week. But this one's going to leave a bad taste in our mouth for some weeks to come.
We got to get rid of Matt Canada.
Yeah, so Matt Canada, as every Steelers fan and every NFL fan knows, is a hot topic in Pittsburgh right now. I've came on this podcast, weeks in a row saying that I'm tired of Matt Canada, and he proved why. Once again, he made the Houston Texans look like they still had, like an elite defense, which they do not. So it was a all-around poor performance from players and coaches, Tomlin included.
How many tackles did J.J. Watt have?
Oh, J.J. Watt absolutely tore up Kenny Pickett in the backfield. I mean, just went crazy. But his younger brother, T.J., looked like a straight bitch. I came on here, and once again, I apologized to Myles Garrett last week. I ride with my guy, T.J. He had an off day. We need him to have more of an impact. I came on here and implored Myles Garrett to show up on the stat sheet. I need T.J. to do that this coming week against Baltimore.
The Texans are the class of that division, huh? How about that?
Who would have ever thought? None of us.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is like Texans, C.J. Stroud, man. I went back. I was thinking about this. We talked about Justin Fields versus C.J. Stroud a few episodes ago.
Yep.
And kind of had that feeling that I said, like, I don't know where this Justin Fields, like, crowning. Like, people were up on the Bears. I saw somewhere that there was more tickets on them to win the Super Bowl than any other team, and it was like Fields MVP, or maybe it was Fields MVP best, one of the two. And
both insane.
That shit was just crazy to me. Yeah, shit was crazy to me. And anyways, going back to that, it was like watching C.J. Stroud in that game. I'm like, that's a good. If the Steelers have anything, it's probably the defense that I, as a neutral person, I'm watching their defense is always pretty good. He looked phenomenal. It's funny. It's like going into that draft, all the CJ Stroud slander, and it's like obviously as a Buckeye fan, like watching it, it's like I get it. Our quarterbacks usually suck coming out of Ohio State, but that dude looked like a fucking quarterback.
Yeah,
that could play in the NFL.
Yeah, he's NFL ready.
All fucking college, and then he gets to the NFL and he's showing it already that it's still early, but damn, he looks good. Like he looks good.
On a terrible team.
God-awful team.
Yeah, he's making players that no one knows about look like Pro Bowlers. I mean, Tank Dell, rookie. Where's he out of? You guys would know better than I would. Did you guys know where Tank Dell's from?
I couldn't even tell you.
So he's not even he wasn't I would assume wasn't a high draft pick for a receiver. He's a rookie. Out of the three of us, we can't put our brain cells together to figure out where the fuck he came from. So, he's making these guys look like they are the real deal. It's impressive.
Collins,
it's impressive what they were. Now, I do think Pittsburgh has a really good defense, so that's why this is even more impressive to me, what he did. I mean, they ran the ball on us. Every team's been able to run it on us so far. Our run defense is terrible. Mostly, I won't say mostly, but due in large part to missing Hayward up the middle. That hurts us.
Yeah, they're in trouble. I think that I think that half the league's in trouble. I know.
It's true. There's been a shift. Maybe it just feels like a bigger shift because it's happening to us three specifically and our teams. But I mean, just to finish up on the Steelers, they didn't do any of the things that they've done efficiently in the games that they've won. Pickens needs more targets. He did not have enough targets in that game. We threw the ball 30 times, but we only had 18 completions. That's just not good enough. You got to get the ball in your playmakers' hands. We need to run more of those short passing game to supplement for the run game that we kind of struggle with. Get Pickens going on a drag, on a slant, and let him make a move after he catches the ball. We just didn't do that enough. We got behind early, and then we were just kind of shell-shocked. I have to kind of just wipe this one from the slate and look on to Baltimore next week because there's nothing to build off of from this game. There's nothing we can take away from this game and say, hey, well, at least we did this well and we can build on that going into next week. We got to throw everything out and start from scratch coming into this Baltimore game. So tough day down in Houston for my Steelers, 30-6, just an absolute whomping. And another whomping that was on the 1 o'clock slate happened in Cleveland. Baltimore comes in and they beat Cleveland 28-3. Deshaun Watson did not play, so they started the rookie Dorian Thompson-Robinson. A lot of hype coming out of the preseason. What are our thoughts on that game, AJ?
DTR looked good, about what I expected. Stefanski called plays to supplement DTR's skill set really well. The offensive line blocked well. The running backs ran well. We tackled very well.
All around great performance.
All around very fundamental.
Yeah.
Is what I would call that.
Truly was a fundamental, yeah. 19 of 36 for 121 and 3 picks for DTR.
Very good. I don't know if Amari Cooper had a catch. Maybe he had one catch.
Yeah.
That was pretty small.
It luckily benched him in fantasy.
Amari Cooper had one catch for 16 yards.
And
hey,
don't worry. He tried to force it to him.
Per catch, 16 yards.
Ooh, that is big. That's going to bump up the average.
Yeah.
Huge.
So Deshaun medically cleared to play before the game. Stefanski comes out and says that it was his choice not to play. Andrew Berry comes out. We're recording this on Wednesday. Andrew Berry comes out today and says that there were multiple people who made the decision to not have Deshaun play. So you're stuck with DTR. This is the outcome.
Oh, well, he's probably an all-pro, maybe a Hall of Fame quarterback. So I have no issues with that. DTR.
Yes, of course.
DTR,
we have 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks on your team now.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Kellen Mond.
And then, that's right. No, I don't know. I've got nothing, man. They're terrible. They make me not want to watch football. It's been that way forever. So,
right. That's kind of the shitty part is it's like reverting back to the mean. It's, you show signs of promise, and now it just seems like it's going to be one of those roller coaster seasons where you'll have some really high highs, and then the lows are like 0-16 type feeling that you get when you see a game like this. Like the Cleveland team that we saw play Baltimore this past Sunday is like that team looks like they shouldn't win a game.
Yeah, I mean the defense still, honestly, they still have all the. You look at all the statistics, like they're still number one in a lot
Yeah.
of statistics, even with that game. So the defense really didn't play bad. It's just when they're on the field 80% of the time,
Yeah.
they're going to get exposed eventually.
28 points off of 3 interceptions. I don't know if there were any fumbles, but don't worry, there were 3 fumbles. But they only lost one of them. But still, like off of 4 turnovers to only get 28 points, that does say something for your defense. So you have that to kind of build on.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have any issues with the defense. I just think the offense could be so bad that it's not going to matter how good your defense is. Like you need some offense to supplement your defense. Some.
Right.
Or just don't turn it over. You can play that field position game all the time. That's fine.
Yeah.
You don't need to be explosive, but if you have 4 turnovers in a game, you're never going to win that game.
Yeah.
I have only one takeaway from this game because going in, I thought DTR starting, no Chubb obviously for the season, but those two being out already this early, rookie starting, I had like no expectations for the Browns in this game. So like it was a shitting, and I thought, hey, this will be a shitting, and if it's not, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't crazy.
And we both picked Cleveland to cover the spread last week.
That crazy. Well, hey. In our defense, though, I'm never picking that if DTR started. I really am not. And
right.
I'm not just saying that in hindsight.
No, I completely agree. The line changed like crazy once Deshaun said he was not playing.
That news came out, and it was like, oh, good luck. But my takeaway was, holy shit, Browns. Can't get a starting quarterback right. Can't get the backup quarterback right. Let Josh Dobbs walk in the offseason right before the start of the season. Can't even get the backups right.
No.
Like, what
and then we caught a veteran. We caught him. Who was our backup?
Yeah.
We had a different guy we cut after
Keenum?
Dobbs. Or no, we traded. Keenum too.
Yeah.
We had him, but
solid backup.
Yeah, Case Keenum.
Which
not as good as DTR though.
True.
He was the best backup in the NFL last weekend.
Yes, best rookie quarterback in the league.
Oh, 5th round? Barely 6
A steal. That's a steal.
5th round steal. UCLA, traditionally awesome quarterbacks coming out of UCLA. Right. I can name so many.
I mean, the Chip Kelly pro offense.
The list is endless.
The Chip Kelly pro offense. The Chip Kelly 2010 Eagles offense.
Yes, of course. Yes, the big time. And,
that's right.
The culmination of that game came when near the end of the game, Garrett hurts his ankle. And then the whole stadium goes eerily quiet. It's like 3rd quarter or something. And it was like, this is exactly what I would expect to happen to the Browns in this situation. Like, Chubb's gone for the year. Their quarterback decides not to play after his coach comes out and says he's medically cleared. All signs pointed to the fact that he was going to play that day. Doesn't end up playing. Whether something went wrong in warm-ups or not, I'm not even going to speculate on that. But it is interesting that all signs were pointing towards the fact that he was going to play. And then on top of that, your best player hurts his ankle even though it was the 3rd quarter, what was essentially garbage time in a game that at that point everyone in the world knew you weren't going to win, including DTR, as he's was taking every snap. He knew, well, there's nothing I can do to win this game right now. Baltimore's on my ass. I mean, they were in the backfield every other play. He was sacked 4 times. It was just that Cleveland offensive line that had such a high preseason rating I've mentioned this in previous episodes, but they do concern me. And I don't know if it's matchup dependent or what. I know there was an injury in like week 1 or 2. Wasn't Batonio, was it? It was.
Yeah, Jack Conklin, the right.
Conklin, right?
Down.
Conklin went down. That's always going to hurt you when you lose a tackle. They're just getting so much pressure from the outside. So I'll be interested to see if they can kind of game plan around that, because as of right now, they're doing running back by committee. No one's scared of your run game. They're gonna have to find ways, like they did last week with the short passing game, to kind of supplement the lack of run. Like we have the same issue right now, but for different reasons. We have the guy that we drafted still. He's fucking healthy as he could be. He's just horrible. So we have no run game as well.
Right. Oh, that's crazy too. And then you figure that DTR still threw for more yards than Kenny Pickett.
We're fucking past the Steelers game. Okay, we moved past that. We're on to the next one. We're playing Baltimore. Fucking, we'll get to picks a little bit later. We're on to the next one. Yeah,
you
okay.
sure are playing
Fair
Baltimore.
point, though.
Pickett didn't throw 3 picks, so he's got that going.
Yeah, but he would have. Just know that he would have. If he was thrust into the position that DTR was thrust in at that time, there's no doubt. I mean, we saw Kenny Pickett last year. Like, he has the ability to do that as well.
Yeah, I'm almost more disappointed with fucking Stefanski. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Running reverses and throwing deep balls with your rookie quarterback making it like you're not going to work him in a couple of short throws and maybe run the ball a little more, have him be a game manager and don't put it all on his shoulders. I mean, what are you doing? Like, what are we doing?
It was a poor display of coaching. I do love the Elijah Moore negative 20-yard jet sweep.
Yes.
Awesome. Elite play. That was with the Myles Garrett ankle injury. It was just like, of course you run that play right now, and of course you get negative 20 yards. That makes perfect sense. I would expect nothing less from this game. Defense is really all you can kind of take away from that game. Like you said, I think they did play pretty well. They didn't give up. They gave up 131 yards on the ground, but it was spread out. That's kind of a misleading stat because they're up the whole game, so they're running a ton. They ran it 33 times. Yeah, it's like I don't think you can read too much into that. They shut down all of their receivers. The only problem was Mark Andrews, which people forget about how elite he can be. And he had one of those days where it was just like, okay, this is a Mark Andrews type game. So an unfortunate game there in Cleveland, 28-3. Baltimore gets the win. They will see Pittsburgh next week. And I wish I could say there's good news for the last game of the crew. I picked the Giants last week on the show. The Giants that I believed in did not show up for this game. Seattle comes into MetLife 24-3. Chris, let me know how you're feeling.
Yeah, I've had 48 hours to sit on this one, and it's what I've kind of come to the conclusion is that it's just. This is going to be obviously a very long year. And that offensive line, I want to start there and be very clear.
Please do.
Is one of the most wild. Like, there's not a word that I can think of beside, that's greater than wild to just explain how I feel when I watch us snap the ball. It's like watching a bunch of kids in a side yard play 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and then you can rush.
Yep.
It's wild.
It is actually exactly like that.
And I've been so defensive of Daniel Jones. I just like the guy a lot. He's not good. I haven't said that probably out loud in a long time because I like just defending him. He's just not good. And I get that. Yeah, I get that. But what the fuck, man? 11 fucking sacks?
Yeah,
that shit was wild. Like, it was wild. I couldn't even enjoy the game because no shit.
Yeah,
I couldn't enjoy any good. Like, there's nothing I can come in and say that was good. The defense was horrible. The special teams was so undisciplined. It's just like it's really exhausting to watch, and it's so exhausting in prime time. I was telling this to you guys when the game was happening. Just put us in the 1 p.m. slot. Let us get shit on like your guys' teams. Because guess what? Nobody was talking about Tuesday morning.
Stray.
Your teams. Because our team was the Monday night
that is
8
fair.
p.m. game that everybody fucking watched together. Sick of it. Just let us be. Leave us alone. We play Miami this week and it's 1 p.m. Great. You guys can all just have a nice, enjoyable Sunday at 1 p.m. catching a few glimpses of Tua going off here and there on the Red Zone channel. But yet don't have to sit there and watch it through all these commercials and everybody texting me and everybody watching it. It sucks for everybody. Nobody wants this.
No, it's true.
You're such a bad team.
I didn't enjoy that game at all.
Well, how could you?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It was really bad.
Even when the Giants were driving 14-3 and we had the ball on the 5 or the 3 or whatever, and Daniel Jones throws the 97-yard interception return. It wasn't even good if we score there and make it 14-10. That game still sucked.
Yeah, that game did suck.
That game still sucked.
Yeah.
The most exciting thing was probably Daniel Jones making that mistake was actually a blessing for everybody because it gave everybody that Daniel Jones moment to be like, fuck, this guy blows. And it's
Right.
like, great, wonderful. Like, everybody can talk about something. Because the rest of the game was like, man, I feel bad for everything. The line sucks. Special teams can't get their head out of their ass. What's happening? The defense is brutal. They just let Drew fucking Lock drive down the field in 2 minutes on them and score. Like, just horrible. But then Daniel Jones throws an interception, and it's like, oh, hell yeah. Like, hell yeah. Just throwing fuel on the fire.
There's your headline.
Like, just enjoy it. Yeah, right. Enjoy it. I don't know. It's bad. I think I really – it's obviously the season's done. That was you hate to say week 4 that's a make-or-break game, but, like, 2-2 coming out of those games because now we go to Miami, go to Buffalo. Buffalo's primetime Sunday Night Football, by the way. Get ready for that. Only 2 weeks.
Yes.
Only 2 more weeks until you can watch the Giants in primetime again.
Thank God.
But that's over. So that's 1-5, and it's,
What the fuck is that? Somebody playing some fucking video in the background? What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I don't know.
We just had our first guest on the show. Shout out Larry Fitzgerald. Yeah, just an all-around stinker from the Giants. The offensive line had one of the poorest performances in NFL history, to my knowledge. I mean, that was bad. It was an all-time, unfortunately, Giants type of game. Modern Giants, you guys had success in the 2000s, obviously, but this was bad. I mean, this was bad. You can't put it all on Daniel Jones. He did try. He made some good plays with his feet. The drive where they drove down the field looked really good. He made a terrible read on the goal line. No one's saying anything other than that. It was a really, really bad read. He had 2 guys that were wide open. One of them I had as anytime touchdown scorer. That doesn't matter. But Breida ran the ball effectively early in the first quarter. You guys went away from that immediately. I was a little bit puzzled by that decision. I thought you were running the ball pretty well, and then you run it when it doesn't matter. And it's just that whole game, yes, it sucked. I don't know that we learned anything other than the Giants' offensive line is so bad that it can quite literally lose the entire game for you.
Yeah. The other thing I'll say is I know, and I joke about Daniel Jones throwing that pick and getting everybody the headline to make fun of him. But the problem with him is that he actually, like, up until that point, like, he's playing hero most of the snaps. I mean, you'll see him rolling out, and like it's not like like I said, he's not making great decisions when he rolls out there and he's trying to be hero anyways. That's the problem. He can't be hero.
Right.
Like, I think, like, last year when they were scheming around him and you saw them go to the playoffs and win a playoff game, it wasn't like everybody was like, oh, Daniel Jones is automatically like this elite quarterback. But they were scheming things that were allowing him to just be comfortable and move the ball. None of that was happening. None of that's happened all year, really. I think it happened for 2 quarters against Arizona. But, again, 10 carries, 66 yards for him. He was 27 of 34, but no touchdowns because there's no time for him to get receivers open anyways. And then, of course, like, when it does matter, all these stats look pretty decent for him, but when it does matter, he fucks up and makes that mistake. So that's where it's like, that's not going away, and that's where I'm starting to get, like, all my Daniel Jones defending is like, that's what it's year 5. That is not stopping. It has been happening for 5 years where we're in a situation and he makes a mistake. So it's like he plays well or decent, and then fucks up and it's over. I didn't mind the second interception.
No.
I'll say that. I think
it also didn't
bad,
matter.
But I don't mind it because it's like, again, he's trying to play hero. That one I don't give a shit about.
Right.
The dude's internally, he's probably so fucking pissed that he can't get any time, whatever. He's like, you know what, I have to throw it at some point deep. And that was his second throw over 10 yards in the entire game. Because he's like, I can't get the ball downfield because he doesn't have time. So he's like, fuck it, I'm throwing it up.
Right.
And then it gets tipped. It goes obviously right to the defender. And it's like, yeah, but like, I don't blame him for it. Like, I'm getting frustrated for him watching. It sucks.
Yeah.
10 sacks against that defense is so crazy, man.
That
like
is
I said,
bad.
it is just wild.
I'm a staunch Daniel Jones defender. I've done it on the show before. I do like Daniel Jones. I know on the season 1 of the show, we had a clip of I brought up a question: is Daniel Jones athletic? It was partially trolling because I thought it would be funny, but also this was before I, really knew a lot about him. This was 3 years ago now. Why does he always look confused? When
it's the Eli school of thought.
He looks like a word I can't say on the podcast. What's wrong with him?
It's like in 2 years when Jordan Love goes on his ayahuasca excursion, and you're like, oh, it's the Aaron Rodgers school of thought.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's always pontificating.
He's just trying to. Eli's what he came into the league learning, and that's what he's doing. So like Jordan Love's going to start doing this manifestation thing, and it all makes sense. You just got to look at Aaron Rodgers school of thought. He's playing with Aaron. He's going remote.
So
balls.
When he looks off into space with his mouth open.
Is his way of, he's tripping balls.
Okay. Oh, he's tripping balls. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now we know.
So, what does that mean for DTR then? If you are going to the Deshaun Watson school of thought.
Listen, man, I wasn't going to bring it up, but it's not going to be great. Yeah. Not going to be great.
You want to lawyer up. You want to lawyer up DTR.
Yeah, there's actually nothing you can do to prevent that. It's inevitable. It's you are the average of all of the people you spend your time around. That's the problem in Cleveland right now. Is the average is now starting with Deshaun.
Yeah, it
and
starts
by the
with
way,
Deshaun, the middle, Deshaun's at the end. It's all Deshaun.
That is true. It always has been.
I love it.
Our three teams. Go ahead.
Just real quick. This team, I didn't want to pay Saquon at all. Oh my fucking Lord, do they need Saquon?
Pay that man.
That's all I got. They need him so bad. And I'm over here all offseason like, don't pay him. Don't pay running backs. And it's just like this team needs him so bad.
He's an instant difference maker when he's on the field.
It's just not even close. Like it's not even funny. Daniel Jones needs him. The team needs him.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Do you think that so they did show some ability to run the ball in the first quarter? Do you think they would have been so quick to go away from the run had that been Saquon who was running the ball that efficiently in the first quarter?
No, not at all. Matt Breida's not good. Like literally, he's just not good. Like he's a bad running back. He's only here because he knows Daboll's offense from Buffalo. That's it. He's not good. No, they would have been able because Saquon would have been able to actually move the ball. He just makes plays. No, Breida is just bad. Like he just is. He did decent getting open yesterday, but a couple of them were broken plays where he got lucky for 20 yards. Like he was just broken play in the pocket. He's open, ran it for 20, 25 yards. It's like other than that, he's just not a good running back. So I don't know. Get the ball in Wan'Dale Robinson's hands more. He looked fun. But other than that,
he did look fun. That's the bright side.
Yeah, he looked fun. Yeah, he looked cool.
You have that to. That's all you're gonna give him. I thought he looked good. Yeah, I would give him good. He looked good.
He looked like
this is a defeated man.
A good time out there. He looked like he was having fun out there. Playing. If you had fun, you won. Wan'Dale Robinson.
Participation trophies all around. You guys showed up.
Yeah, give it to him.
Yeah, the primetime beatdowns gets old quick.
Yeah.
Our three teams collectively,
they're so bad.
This week, our three teams combined lost 82-12. So nice. If you take our three teams, we lost by a combined points of 82-12. So a very, very tough week for the podcast. Seattle storms into MetLife and beats the absolute dog shit out of the Giants, 24-3.
Wait. None of our teams got a fucking touchdown this week.
Correct.
That just made me realize that's great.
Yeah, Steelers scored 6 points, Browns 3, Giants 3, 82-12. Just an absolute dicking. I hope next week we can come on the show and have like something to be fucking excited about. But we had nothing. We had to honestly pull teeth to get this done. We'll talk about a few other notable games from around the league before we get to our picks. My Baker and his Buccaneers getting it done in New Orleans, 26-9. The Buccaneers are 3-1. Baker ranks in the top 10 in both QBR and passer rating in the league. Baker Mayfield is him. If you could choose to have Baker Mayfield back right now and give them Deshaun, would you do it?
Oh, give Tampa Bay Deshaun?
Yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind. I would have done from the beginning. Though I would have done that. I don't
Right.
think I've ever said otherwise.
No, I don't think I'm not accusing you of being a Baker hater. I don't. You've never have been. A lot of Browns fans turned on him once he left, but I would say the majority has said that they like Baker. A lot of the Browns fans are not on the Deshaun train.
No, what has he shown?
Nothing. He's had one game 2 weeks ago that was like, okay, this is a glimpse, not even the full thing, but a glimpse of the guy that we paid him to be.
Yeah, he had one game last year, the game against Washington last year like that, where you were like, oh, okay, like he looks like a serviceable NFL quarterback, and that's all we've needed for the last 30 years, so that would be nice. And then it all went downhill immediately. He's not fondling enough anymore, probably.
True. That's where he gets his superpowers.
Yeah, that's how it's like
It's interesting you say that because he used to run the ball super well because he was like loose and empty and was able to move super quick. Yeah, but now he's so full and heavy that he looks like he's laboring when he runs. You make a really interesting point. I think that has something to do with it. What do you think about Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers, Chris?
Yeah, I think Baker is the best quarterback in that division all of a sudden, which is great. It wasn't a hard mountain to climb, but he's there.
True.
He's at the top of it. That surprised me. I genuinely didn't see Tampa Bay winning that game or being 3-1 in any fucking sort of the way this year.
Yeah.
That division sucks.
Yeah.
It's absolutely horrible, and I find myself kind of hoping that one of them wins the Super Bowl. So that's where I'm at with that division.
I like that. I'm about to place a bet on the Buccaneers right now to win the Super Bowl.
If it's going to be Baker Mayfield winning it this year, hilarious. Here for it. Giants suck, so give me shit like that. Give me Baker going 16-1.
I would love that.
Would you get joy in that, AJ? Would Browns fans collectively find joy in seeing Baker Mayfield win one, or would that hurt even more?
I don't know if Browns fans would, but I would.
Yeah.
It would objectively be funny.
Yeah, I think not only would it be funny, but like I think it would validate where he was picked in the draft. He would feel validation himself. I've always said, as someone who is supposed to hate everyone who wears orange and brown, that out of all of my years of being a football fan, which is now 27 years, since I was born, literally came out Steelers cap on. This is the first Browns player where I was like, oh, I like him. Like I can't do anything about it. I like him. I like, as Skip Bayless would say, his moxie. I like that he grabbed his junk at the Kansas players. I love that everyone hates that type of stuff. I like when everyone's like, no, that's actually trashy. I'm like, no, I like that now.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. That is like why college is awesome. Because of shit like that.
Yes. Give me a Dewey. Give me you getting tackled.
Yes, give me a Dewey.
And put it on video.
Daniel Jones have a Dewey? No, Mac Jones.
I don't think he's ever had a drink.
Yeah, true. Man.
What to do? But did he put someone like an equipment locker room and then?
Definitely hazing. He has a hazing face and head.
Was he hanging out with the lacrosse team at all at Duke? Who know? The
Chris?
Men's lacrosse team.
Oh,
anyone know?
Jones.
Chris? Yeah. Chris,
God.
anyone know?
No comment on his Duke pass.
Oh, okay.
So
we can officially put. All right, we're gonna put a graphic out on our YouTube page that says Chris has no comment on whether Daniel Jones was friends with the Duke lacrosse team while he was playing quarterback at Duke. Well, that's good.
I want no part of that.
The Saints look fucking horrible. Just to wrap up on this game, Derek Carr fucking sucks. I don't know if it's because he's hurt or what. And I'm pissed because I have Chris Olave. The one play that Jameis Winston got in on the game, he said, fuck it, I'm going deep, and threw an interception. He was 0 for 1 with one interception on a attempted deep ball. That's why we love Jameis. Let Jameis play. We want fun football back, mainly because I have Olave, and he'll have – if Jameis plays, they'll lose every game, and Jameis will throw 7 interceptions, but Olave will have 150 yards.
Shit.
My favorite stat from the weekend actually is from this game. It's Alvin Kamara makes his comeback, and he just came storming in with that social media post. Was like, I'm fucking back. I'm out of jail.
Right,
that shit was hilarious.
Free me.
Yeah, my favorite stat from the weekend is Alvin Kamara, 13 catches for 33 yards.
That's nearly impossible.
Like, that dude's athletic and good, meaning that they suck so bad. They got the ball in his hands 13 times through the air, and he could only get 2.5 yards a catch.
Yeah, that is one of the most
terrible offense.
I think I read somewhere that's
terrible.
like the most receptions and least yards ever.
I mean, it has to be, right?
I think it is.
I don't
think
even know how
that.
there'd be any other. It has to be. It has to be. That is just stupid.
Obviously, none of us watched that game, so I don't know why that stat line exists of 13 catches for 33 yards. I only caught glimpses on Red Zone, and every glimpse on Red Zone that I caught was Baker. Shout out.
I can't believe that this game came up, and I was waiting for you to bring this up, but it just has not. It has not. Lynn Bowden Jr., 1 target.
That's big time. That's huge.
Yeah.
Shout out Lynn Bowden Jr.
Yeah.
Finally gets to step on the field.
Sure.
No, we're not done with the game. It was coming up. I have it in my notes right here, but I'm glad that you brought it up so we could give my boy some shine. Shout out to Lynn. Finally, hopefully they work him into the offense a little more. This was just kind of a test. Once again, I didn't watch that game. I know that it was Derek Carr who threw at him because Jameis was 0 for 1 with 1 interception. So unless he was targeted on that deep ball, which I don't remember seeing, I'm happy for him. Yeah, this was kind of what I had hoped would happen all along, is that they work him into a receiving role more so than just a return special teams role that other teams have kind of relegated him to. I think he's a great receiver. You get the ball in his hands, he's going to make plays happen. You got to run like screen plays for him though, or some sort of jet sweep, pitch, backfield stuff, motion him. Like he's a utility gadget type of guy. Maybe that is like the ceiling, but I think he can excel in that role. And if they figure out a way to start using him, obviously they have Rashid Shaheed who runs like a 4-2, so he's not going to be doing punt returns and kick returns like he probably thought he would be. So they got to find other ways to work him into the game. Yeah, I love that he got a target. I'm hoping next week we turn that into a reception or a carry. That's big time.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out Baker Mayfield, the future NFL MVP.
Kentucky also has speaking of Lynn Bowden, Kentucky, huge game this week. Huge game.
Who's Kentucky got
Georgia.
this week? Ooh.
Both teams undefeated. If they can take Georgia down, that would be enormous. So, Lynn Bowden, go ahead. You got some eligibility?
I wonder. Yeah, probably. If you're a graduate student, you can always come back and play.
And the MFP Most Fun Player Award, Wan'Dale Robinson, also from Kentucky.
The Most Fun Player Award. Yeah, we got to give the Most Fun Player Award out every week, and this week I guess it goes to Wan'Dale Robinson. Shout out Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers, 26-9. A little recap of an interdivisional game for us, AJ. The Bungles get absolutely housed by the Titans. I mean, we touched on this game briefly when we did our picks last week, Chris. We both thought this was like the ultimate get-right game for the Bengals. You even said, I'm starting Tyler Boyd. This is the game that Joe Burrow goes off. I'm expecting big things from him. Joe Burrow, 20 of 30 for $165. That's damn near the quarterback version of Alvin Kamara's stats. This was an all-around stinker for the Bengals, and I think it's officially time that Cincinnati fans need to be worried.
The Browns beat the Titans by like 30. So, yikes.
Yes.
Bengals.
So, NFL math.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I will say I did actually end up starting Boyd. I got 6.6 out of him in the flex, which all things considered, that game.
For that game, it's elite.
I was upset.
Yeah, that's
I was
elite.
the least upset about that of any fantasy thing this week. Like, that was a bad decision in the end, but I was like, you know what? Tyler Boyd, 6.6 in the game where they got demolished. I'll take it, Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother. That game sucked. Horrible to watch. Bengals are bad. It was also hilarious to watch Derrick Henry just come right back out after I think I literally said last episode. I think I posed the question: Is he slowing down? And no, he just is just
hand up. I take accountability. I benched Derrick Henry in fantasy this week. I should have came on the podcast with fucking clown makeup on. On top of that, Chris told me last week, start both A-Chain and Mostert. I said, Chris, you don't know shit. I'm starting Mostert. A-Chain's a bitch. Put him on my bench.
Oh man.
Mostert, once again, my favorite phrase, all-time stinker from Mostert. A-Chain had touched the ball fucking 9 times and had 500 points in fantasy. He might be the best player in the world. I don't know what else to say other than Devon A-Chain, Devon, whatever the fuck it is. You are the best player in the world, and I wish you were on my team. I miss you, and I love you so much.
Is the Derrick Henry touchdown pass a top 5 most exciting play in football?
I mean, not for me. I'm pissed, but yes, objectively.
Yeah, no,
yes.
But like that is
the jump pass.
The way he's built, he's built is just not for throwing passes.
No,
and it's just awesome. It works like every time. I think he's thrown like 5 touchdown passes.
I would love to see his career passing stats. It's probably like 5 for 7 for 5 yards and 5 touchdowns. Just the most elite fucking passing stats of all time. It's like kicker passing stats.
In his career, he's 6 for 7 with 25 yards, 3 touchdowns.
That's huge.
And a passer rating of 121.1.
Oh my god! And you're paying fucking Daniel Jones $50 million.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He's the best. He might be the best quarterback in history. We just don't know because they're not giving him a high enough sample size.
Exactly. Well, that's why you pay Saquon and you just have him do shit like that. I mean,
we were playing Saquon at quarterback at a point last year. Let's not get back to that.
Yeah,
terrifying.
True. Tractor Cito season was in full effect. He was stiff arming dudes. It was one of those games where Tannehill didn't really have to do much and yet had a pretty solid game. Of course, he threw an interception because he's Ryan Tannehill, so he's going to do that. But, he was able to – this wasn't a game that they were ever in trouble with, so it was like, this doesn't really matter. DeAndre Hopkins, he's probably not happy that Ryan Tannehill's throwing him the ball. How could you be happy? Their offense stinks. This team, I hold true to what I said last week. The Titans suck. They're a bad team. Yeah. For them to do this to the Bengals means I guess the Bengals do suck, and maybe we have to just, accept that now, which is fine by me. But, I always try to be, smart on this show. I'm like, no, I know the Bengals will get it together. They might just suck.
I'm going to go with Tennessee is not that bad.
Okay.
I think they're good. I think they're good at stopping the run, and I think their head coach is smart. So in spite of their quarterback play, they're going to be 500-ish.
I think they'll be 500. Yeah, I think they'll be 500.
Yeah. In that division too.
They're scrappy, but to me that I do like the take because I could be proven completely wrong at the end of the year. The sample size that we have is not big enough but obviously we're on the podcast. You make hot takes. I think they fucking suck, and I don't see anything good in their future. 500. Yes, I see 500. I could see 500, and they still stink. One, because it's the division they're in, and it's just they're scrappy. They will play up to certain competition. I don't even think that was one of those games. I just think the Bengals – I'll go ahead and say it. I think the Bengals fucking suck. With Joe Burrow having no mobility, I think they just suck. Joe Burrow, average pocket passer?
Well, they have a little bit of the Giants problem. Their offensive line fucking blows. So on top of him having no mobility, that's tough. And I know they retooled it, and I know their numbers probably aren't as bad as they have been in the past, but their offensive line cannot pass protect.
Yeah, true. It's tough because it's I looked at the numbers and I'm like, well, I can't really compare that to the Giants. They gave up 11 sacks and 50 attempted sacks or whatever that fucking stat is. Yeah. The Bengals had 3 sacks given up for a quarterback with no mobility who threw the ball 30 times. That isn't too bad. It's not great. It's not great. And I think that they're in trouble. They finally give Joe Mixon the opportunity to run the ball. He had 15 carries and just nothing. They cannot get anything clicking on offense. T. Higgins has a rib injury. They thought it was really bad at first, kind of like the Kenny Pickett thing, and now apparently he's going through walkthroughs. He might play this week. I don't know that matters. I don't know if Joe Burrow isn't going to play like the Joe Burrow that we know, then I don't think this team's any good. Just like they were before Joe Burrow. Yeah, they can have good players on their team. They have for a long time. They've always had good skill players, and it's never mattered. And it's almost like, oh, this is kind of scary for Bengals fans, not for us. I love it. But it's like without Joe Burrow playing at that elite level, they're not an elite team.
Their coach might be an idiot too. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, he looks like he suffers from a bit of the Daniel Jones, no offense, but looks like an idiot.
I think Bengals are in trouble for the rest of the year. Even this is starting to look like more of a actual thing than just like a blip on the Joe Burrow injury rust radar. It's kind of starting to look like Bengals suck. I'll actually go with Jesse. I think the Titans suck. So I think that says a lot about I'm going with the transitive Browns,
right?
The Titans to Bengals. Like I'm going to do
so
that.
So Browns are elite.
No, they suck. So that tells you how bad
they just might be average.
you technically beat the Bengals by 50 some points. Yeah. If you just want to do math.
I have Titans. If I'm thinking about that division, they haven't even played a divisional game yet, and so they played Texans twice, Colts twice.
That's 4
Jaguars
losses.
Twice.
That's 6 losses.
And Jag twice. So it's like that's where I think that division.
No, they'll play on them. Yeah.
They got the Ravens. They got the Dolphins. They got a tough schedule. So they're not in great. I don't think they're in great shape watching them play because it can't be. It's nice when they're winning like that, and then they can go to Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry can do whatever the fuck he wants. Yeah, but that's not going to be. They're not going to be able to do that. It's going to be more Tannehill trying to get the ball to D-Hop, and
that's a recipe for disaster. Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. Yeah, I meant to bring this up when we were touching on our 3 games. Right now, out of the 3 of us, which one is in the worst position for this season? I know you're both probably going to make an argument for your own team, so I'm interested to see if we objectively had to say which team is in the worst position for this season. Who is it?
I'll start because I think the Browns are not in this discussion. To be honest, like dead serious, I just don't like. I think I don't look at this they looked pretty good. The wins looked good that they had so far, and then last week was DTR making his first start. I'm not like if that becomes a thing and Deshaun's shoulder is fucked, then I'm like okay. This I compare him to us, but the way they looked with Deshaun and with that defense, like it's one of us.
Yeah,
it's not just in my opinion. It's one of us, and that's where I'll say I'll make the argument for us. I don't see any Tomlin. This is where coaching comes in, and when you start losing a team, and I have more faith in Tomlin not losing that team than I do this Giants locker and just throwing in the towel. Like there was already stupid penalties happening, and it's week 4. We're doing shoving the guy after the punt, getting 15 yards. We're doing running into the kicker to not get the ball back before halftime.
Yeah.
Like just shit like that where it's like we're week
things
4,
that bad teams do.
Just mental mistakes, and it's like these guys better fucking reel them in quick because this locker room.
AJ, do you think you guys are in this conversation?
I think if you just look at their records, they'll tell you. So the Giants are 1-3 and our teams are 2-2. So logically they're behind here. There's some sort of stat on teams that make the playoffs that are 2-2 versus 1-3. I'm sure. So the Giants are in the worst position.
And I think if you look at our schedule versus your guys, it's not like it's just even the rest of the season outlook is so bad. Dolphins.
Well, and we could. It's over. Yeah, right. And there's a chance that. Probably not even a chance. You're probably in a harder division too.
Yeah. Well, we would have thought that it would have been us, but I think now it's pretty clear that the NFC East is harder.
Yeah, I mean
they're top heavy, obviously, but
but even
Washington they're good. Well, good is a little.
I don't want to have that.
Good's crazy.
Come on.
We'll tell you.
Maybe we weren't even going to talk about the Commanders and Eagles.
We're not going to talk about their game. Even though it would be kind of fun to shit on the Eagles. Is it depressing that they might? Well, not might. They're definitely better than you, but that they might
That's
like.
The depressing part.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I feel bad.
Just them being a clearly more average team just sucks.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it. A more average team.
They just
Riverboat Ron.
Apparently, they said on the broadcast you're not supposed to call him that anymore.
Man. Oh, really?
I'll call him whatever
Yeah.
the fuck I want.
Is Sam Howell Chinese or Alaskan?
He's got Alzheimer's anyway.
Sam Howell?
Yeah.
No,
He looks Alaskan. Yeah. Well.
Does he?
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
a North Carolina product.
Yeah, he's a Chapel Hill product.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying. Yeah, but he went to college here. There's no fucking good college in Alaska. I don't even know if they have schools up there.
Anchorage.
Does Anchorage have a football team? What division are they?
8-on-8 football. 7-on-7 football.
Oh, a little 7-on-7, little Michigan action. And then we'll wrap up before we get to the picks with what was supposed to be the game of the week. Miami at Buffalo. If you tuned into last week's episode, Chris and I had a little discussion about the best of the best in the league, which teams are clearly head and shoulders above the rest. Chris laid his reputation on the line for Miami.
Nailed it, baby.
They go into Buffalo, and they get fucking whooped by the fucking Josh Allen.
Nailed it.
Tough game for Tua and the boys. Great game for Buffalo. They look like the real deal. Week 1 was a fluke, apparently. So everyone panicked for no reason whatsoever. Josh Allen is still him.
I think Miami's defense surprised me. They got fucking shredded. They got a couple easier weeks ahead here. Obviously, they've got the Giants this weekend, so I think they're going to go kind of right back to looking good. But
it's like
those
vacation.
Two teams, what?
That's like vacation.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're just going to cruise back in and refresh a little bit. But that was absolutely opposite of how I thought that was going to go. I really did think that the Dolphins were just going to come in and be like, we are this legit. It was kind of an obvious letdown spot, to be honest. Like, follow up 70 points against an away at Buffalo game, but I guess I was just looking through that. They got fucking throttled. That offense is wild. Stephon Diggs, when he gets going, is pretty fun to watch because that dude all of a sudden just always looks open.
Electric day from Stephon. Electric
crazy, yeah. And I kind of fuck with him and his he gets he gets into it and shit. So I kind of like watching that. But yeah, that was a shitting, and I was like couldn't have been more wrong on.
But I ended up agreeing with you.
I thought that game was gonna be clear. Yeah, I just thought it was gonna be. But I think I said like easy. Like I said,
you did.
I said the only thing was gonna be a game. I really didn't. I believed that. 100%.
I think you used the phrase that Miami is going to toy with Buffalo.
Yeah, probably. I believe it.
We had so many bad picks when we went through the picks last week. So the good ones were good, just like the Browns right now. The highs are high, the lows were fucking low. We really laid our nuts on the table for some of these games, and this was one of them where I think it was an obvious kind of how do you follow up a 70-point performance type of game against a team that is, preseason people would say undeniably better. What do you think about this game, AJ?
I'm kind of Josh Allen supporter, so he made me look smart.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
They're the cream of the crop, probably, and their defense looks pretty scary, and their head coach can coach some defense. So
God, love some.
They don't even.
I love their coaches. I love them.
Yeah, they don't even have Von Miller yet, so we're gonna see when he gets back what that looks like. James Cook's a good running back. They got a decent little running back stable for when they do choose to run the ball. It's kind of like the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
They are predicated off of short passes that lead to longer passes, right? Like it's almost no run game. I mean, they do run the ball though. Like you look up and they ran the ball, 25 times, but you don't realize it. So they're kind of similar on offense. They're dangerous, like you said. Stephon Diggs is good. That receiving core is good. Miami is, I don't know, man. Tua, man, I'm just never really sold on. Never been sold on Tua. I know he can put up a bunch of yards and touchdowns, but he's like his goal's made of jello at this point.
Yeah, and he throws left-handed, which like you're a freak. No one wants to watch that. Nope. Throw with the other hand.
His brother plays the Buckeyes this week, I believe.
Oh, he does.
Another Tagovailoa that's fucked this week.
Talia?
Yep. Yeah, that's
Talia's his name?
Yeah. It's Talia. I think it is.
Yikes. That's a weird name. I think it's Talluia or some shit like that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, Tua is my fantasy quarterback, so I have no choice but to believe in him. Last year when he was healthy, he put up crazy numbers. This year he has
Right.
put up some crazy numbers. Um, their offensive
He
line,
might be the MVP.
he could. He very well could if they start. Well, now Josh Allen's the favorite for MVP. I don't know if you saw that, but that like flipped as soon as this game was over. And now he's the favorite by like a mile. So maybe it's time to put money on Tua. When he is in rhythm and he's not getting pressured and he's getting the ball out of his hands in like 2-3 seconds, he's an elite quarterback. Too much time back there, he's going to take a sack, and yeah, his brain's going to turn to mashed potatoes. So they have to be careful with him in the pocket. That's why they invested in the offensive line. Buffalo got after him all day, like you said. Yes, yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, the viewers at home can go ahead and read that out loud. Yeah, it's just like you said, Von Miller wasn't even playing, and they still got after him like crazy. They had 4 sacks, but they were pressuring him all day. A-Chain looked great once again. He only carried the ball 8 times, but he had 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. I guess he's just going to be the guy now. Mostert fumbled. That doesn't help. Now they're like, well, we got this guy who's so skilled he breaks off big plays every game. We're running little gadget pass plays for him. He runs like a 4-1. Mostert's like runs like a 4-2, so he's slow compared to A-Chain.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that whole team is like if you don't run a 4-1, it's like you can't play. So I still think they're one of the best teams in the league. They're definitely one of the best teams in the AFC. But I think Buffalo proved that like there is levels when it comes to this, and they're a team that sustains that level for longer, I think. But it'll be interesting to see. I do think that we're not going to go fully into the 49ers game, but I think they're probably the best team in the league. That was my pick last week. I think right now I still there's nothing that I saw this week that would make me think otherwise. McCaffrey fucking 9 touchdowns or whatever played against him in fantasies. Yeah, it was just a tough week to play against McCaffrey in fantasy. So let's get on to our week 5 picks. So let's take a look at our spreads here. We start out Chicago at Washington. Washington favored by 6 points. I'm going to take Washington -6.
I'm going to take Washington. I got no faith in anything the Bears are doing.
Yeah.
I am going to take the points of the Bears.
I love it. I love it. Oh, just for context, if you didn't tune in last week, what did I say, Chris? We both went 5 and 9. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
By the way, though,
so don't listen to us.
I am seeing it's at 6 now. I grabbed it yesterday at 6.5, so I have the hook there.
Oh, you got Bears at 6.5 yesterday?
That's
why when we both said Commanders, he was like this.
Yeah.
He wanted us to say Bears so bad.
No, but when you guys said 6, I was like, shit, did it change? But
I'm just going I'm just going based off of
yeah.
Caesars, what we have most recently. So then the next game is at Tottenham's what do you call it? Pitch. Buffalo versus Jacksonville. Buffalo favored by 5.5. AJ, who you taking here?
Jacksonville. I'll go Buffalo, but stop playing in Great Britain.
Yeah, definitely.
Really quickly. Actually, no. I'll save this. I got a little note here that's going to pop up here shortly. Great. Staying on this game, Jaguars Bills. I'm gonna take the points with the Jags 5.5 because it's a home game for them, and it's back-to-back weeks in London. They've been fucking chilling there. They literally are comfy. They have their own. They have local pubs now.
It's true that is literally. They're gonna move there.
Yeah.
Or is it another Toy Story game?
I hope not. Please.
I don't. Oh, you didn't like that?
I didn't watch it.
I
didn't watch it.
I
watched the highlights, but I could. Like,
one of the best things I've ever watched in my entire life.
Respect.
I'll go Jags though. It's a home game for them, in my opinion, because it basically is, and they've already been there for fucking 2 weeks, and the Crew just scored to go up 2-1. So
you make a compelling argument about the home game because I completely agree. They've been there. They're acclimated. Buffalo -5.5. I'll take that because that's just. I feel like that's the smart play. It's good bait. 5.5 is good for this game because it gives me pause. Because if they're the Jacksonville team that when we were doing our preview before the season started, I would take a 5.5 spread. Yeah, I would say I'll take that 5.5. But they've been so kind of wavering this season that I don't fully trust them. I think playing in London, wherever the fuck Tottenham's at, does play to their advantage, but I still think Buffalo wins by a touchdown, so I'm going to take Buffalo at 5.5. Then we have Houston at Atlanta. Atlanta favored by 2 points. Interesting. Chris, what do we think?
Yeah, definitely taking C.J. Stroud over Desmond Ridder in those points there.
Yeah.
So I will, and I'm not even looking back on it.
No, I'll make it short and sweet. I'm taking Houston +2.
Yep.
I'll take Houston as well. Better quarterback, probably. Yeah.
If you're watching this episode, put your fucking whole bank account on Houston because we just finally agreed on one. Then we have Panthers at Lions. Lions favored by 10 as of right now. That's a lot of points. Jamison Williams back from suspension. He's been in the league for 9 years. He's played 2 games. I'd like to see him get activated since I picked him up in fantasy. 10 points. Yeah. Anybody real confident on this? I'll let you go first.
No, I'm definitely not confident on it. I hate laying double digits. If Bryce Young plays again, which I think he's fully healthy, right? Like that was a concussion.
Yeah, he's going to play.
Right?
He'll play, yeah.
He's going to play, then I'll take the 10. If Dalton was playing, I would not. How about that?
Okay, so you're taking Lions 10.
But I'll take Lions.
Okay.
I'll take the points. That Panthers team blows. So does Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna take Panthers. I'm gonna take the Panthers. I want to take the Lions, but that's a double digit.
10 is crazy.
It's impossible.
Yeah, the 10
in garbage time and make games.
I know. That's the problem with picking against the spread, as we learned last week. Chris and I got burned on a couple could have been backdoor covers and then blowing it on the back. Like, you get burned picking against the spread. There's really with a 10-point game.
I laid the 15 points with, or I took the 15 points with Cardinals, and
so did I. I mean, we both talked each other into doing it, and we're like, "Yeah, there's the smart play. Fucking obviously take Cardinals plus 15. That's too big of a line." And then it's just like, well, yeah, obviously. 18. As soon as I watched that game, I'm going, well, yeah, obviously the Niners do this to the Cardinals. Right. I'm like, God, you know what? I'm just gonna pick with my brain, and I'm gonna take Lions -10. Fuck, I'm gonna regret that, but I'm gonna take Lions -10. Ah, shit.
I love it.
And Monra is questionable.
Yes.
Fuck. All right, if you're watching this on Sunday and Amon-Ra is not playing, I didn't say this, but I'm taking Lions -10. Then we have Titans at Indianapolis. Indianapolis is giving 2, so the Titans are favored by 2. Chris and I both picked the Colts last week. I do believe in the Colts to a certain extent. I don't believe in the Titans. If I listened to myself earlier in this episode, I have to take the Colts here. I'm taking the Colts +2.
I'll take the Titans and the flying Ryan Tannehills.
Go horse. I'll take Colts.
All right. Then we have another double-digit spread. This one's going to be a little tough for you, Chris. We have the Dolphins favored by 11 points against the Giants. It's in Miami. It's going to be 400 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah, that's moved already a point from 10, so that's already not a good sign.
Yeah.
This just came in 5 minutes ago from The Athletic. Evan Neal blasts fair weather fans. Giants tackle calls out bandwagoners for not supporting the team amid a 1-3 start. Give me the Dolphins big.
Oh, I was going to say he's talking to you. Give me the Dolphins big. Oh, fuck.
Are you fucking kidding me, Evan Neal?
That is ridiculous.
We're not supporting you. You're just a fucking turnstile.
Yeah, fair weather is crazy.
I want you to do good, dude.
Fair weather for a team that's been bad for 8 years.
For this team.
Yeah.
I'm doing my damn best. I'm sitting on my couch. I'm drinking wine. I switched to beer at halftime. What do you want from me, Evan Neal? Dolphins cover easily. What the fuck?
That's
my fault?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Call me out.
He just pushed that on you.
Jesus.
Danny Dimes redemption game. Give me the Giants to win. Give me the Giants.
Yeah, all right.
We're taking a Giants money line. Oh my God, folks! Ring the fucking bell. It has happened. The white whale is here. Giants money line. I fucking love it. That being said, Dolphins -11. Put it on the board. I'm taking Dolphins.
Evan Neal.
Evan Neal is convinced AJ.
Fire under AJ's ass.
The fair weather friend.
That is amazing. Another absolute shit game. but with a much smaller spread. But just a game that I would never force anyone to watch. New Orleans at New England. New England favored by 1 point. Weird fucking game. I'm gonna... 1 point. At home, at Gillette, 1 point. Bad loss. Belichick, be smart. I'm taking the Patriots -1.
Patriots all day.
Yeah, this game reeks of like a different era. Like, it's just like Saints Patriots sounds like when Rascal Flatts was like charting in the Billboard Top 100 era. It's terrible, just like that was. And I'll take the Saints. I'll take the 1 point with the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is actually closer than we gave it credit for.
No, it's close.
It's gonna be a shit game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
it's just gonna be a bad game.
I just think
it's probably gonna be decent. It's gonna be good in the witching hour. It's gonna come right down to that last kick or something. And,
the Bill Belichick that we know,
Hanson's gonna be going fucking bonkers or whatever, and it's gonna be an exciting one.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not watching the first 3 quarters.
No, if Bailey Zappi starts, then I'd take Patriots all day, like without a hesitation. Bailey Zappi is the GOAT, just like DTR. Start him. So then we have Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh giving 4 to Baltimore. I have to do it. I'm taking Pittsburgh +4. That's so dumb, dude. I mean, it's gonna hurt my pick record, but I'm going Pittsburgh +4.
Baltimore by 14 to 20.
That's so fair. I can't even be mad at that. I can't.
I'll take.
Don't do it, Chris.
The Ravens.
Yeah, don't do it.
I'll take the Ravens.
Leave me.
Man.
Leave me be.
Where's it at?
Man.
Is it at home?
Yeah.
Tomlin at
it's
home.
at Acrisure Stadium.
You know what? Actually, the fact that they
fuck! I'm changing too. Ravens -4. Ravens -4.
That's terrible.
I forgot it wasn't Heinz Field. Ravens -4. Ravens -4. Then we have Eagles at Rams. Rams giving 4.5 to the Eagles. Eagles by 4.5. Yeah, I'll take that.
This is Matt Stafford keeping him in it the whole time. They probably end up losing by 2, so give me the Rams.
I like it.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp practiced today, so that's fun news.
Wow.
I don't know if he'll make much of an impact. I don't know if it really matters with Puka Nacua right now. I think it does, obviously, but if he plays this week or not, I'm not sure how much it matters. With 4.5, I'll take Rams at home. Eagles sketching me out a little bit. I told you that efficiency was so fucking high last year, and Jake Elliott's now the best kicker in the league because the efficiency for the touchdowns went down, and Jake Elliott's a fucking stud. So they're still putting points on the board, but last year Jake Elliott was like irrelevant in like say fantasy purposes and whatever, and now you're seeing that he's getting more kicks. I think Rams can hold 4.5. I don't like them out. I don't like them to win outright. But.
I don't love 4.5. Yeah, I would take Eagles money line. I wouldn't waver on that. I'm still taking Eagles 4.5, but I don't like the line. I think it's going to be a pretty close game, but who knows? Then we have Bengals at Cardinals. Bengals favored by 3. AJ, what do you think about this one?
Man, it could be close. Ooh. Fuck, man. I want to go with Josh Dobbs, right? He's got no hair on his whole body.
I know. It's hot.
Now I'm going to go Bengals here. Bengals to win. Definitely. What were they were giving?
Yes. Bengals are favored by 3.
That's insane to me.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
But I'll take the Bengals to win. I'll take the Bengals money line.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals there. I'm going to fall for my own trap again. I don't think T. Higgins is going to play. So, Boyd comeback game again? I think so. Start him up again.
Starting him again.
On the flex.
Let's run it back. Yeah. I'm benching Derrick Henry. You've heard it here first. I'm also going to take the Bengals -3. I said this last week, and I was so wrong. I'm going to say it again. Big bounce back game for the Bengals here.
I'm falling for this.
Yeah, just doing it all over again. And when I watched back the episode from last week to tally up our picks, I was like, dude, what are you doing? You say the right answer, then you go, but I'm going to take so-and-so. I'm like, what is wrong with me? And I'm doing it again. I'll take Bengals. Then we have Jets at Broncos. Ew. Oh, my God. Oh.
I will be in
Disgusting.
Denver. I'll be in Denver this weekend, so I'm gonna take Denver.
1.5.
I'm gonna take them to win and cover, and hopefully have a good time surrounded by some Denver fans at the bar.
Oh yeah, I
Root for
love
them.
Broncos country, let's ride.
that.
Mm.
I'm taking the Jets, baby, and all those milfs.
Yes, dude. I wanted to jump on the let's cheer for the Broncos while you're in Denver, but Zach Wilson is him, and I'm taking the Jets plus 1.5. I would take Zach Wilson on the Steelers right now. Clip it. I didn't say that. Then we have Chiefs at Vikings. Chiefs favored by 4. Minnesota finally got a win. Every game is a 1-score game.
Yep.
Can they cover 4 points? They can.
Right.
Will they? The Chiefs let up 20 points to the Jets. This is stupid again. Obviously, I should take the Chiefs here. I'm taking the Vikings plus 4. Yeah, I know, that's dumb. Oh, yes, let's go. Fucking look dumb together because that's definitely not going to work.
I think Vikings at home, losing by 1 score perpetually. I will also, for whatever fucking reason, take Vikings to cover 4.
Oh, no. Somebody had to be smart, dude. You fucked it up.
Well,
that's tough.
I think the Vikings to win that their division.
It's true. You have to.
I need them to start getting some wins here.
Vikings Nation, let's ride.
I need them to prove me right a little bit.
This is an interesting one. Cowboys at San Fran. San Fran
49ers -4.
Favored by 4.
Yeah.
I have to take San Fran -4. After I said they're definitely the best team in the league.
Yeah.
I have to disagree. There is nothing interesting about this. This is Niners.
No, yeah, you don't think it's interesting at all? No, I think the Cowboys' offense is bad. Well, not bad, but not good. Yeah,
there's
bad way more. They're kind of similar though, right?
There's way more playmakers on the 49ers to get past an elite Cowboys D than there is Dak to get past this 49ers defense.
That's good.
Yep. Yeah, you said
I've seen them both, unfortunately.
Yeah, true.
I think the 49ers are definitely a step ahead of them just on both sides of the ball, so I'll take them.
Yeah, I've felt the touch of Shanahan as well, and it's not pleasant. No. Then the last game of the week, Packers at Raiders. Packers favored by 1. Gross game. Is Garoppolo playing?
He should.
Okay, Packers by 1. Yeah, Packers then.
I'll take the Packers.
Yeah, Packers for sure.
My heart from fantasy is telling me to just keep backing Devontae Adams. He went into the second half last week without a catch and had what looked like a shoulder injury that was going to keep him out of the game. I had bet him over 6.5 receptions, so I'm sitting there wallowing like this is done and this is sad. He comes back at 7 catches in the second half. Shoulder looked fine out of nowhere. Packers -1.
Yeah. We're all on the Packers there. We're not getting tricked by that line. Vegas fucking stinks. I was so wrong about Jimmy Garoppolo. He fucking stinks. No, the Jets would not win a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo on their team. I was wrong. So don't listen to anything we say. Also, parlay every single pick we just made. So do one of the two. Any closing thoughts? Just on to the next week.
Yeah, I got 2 real quick. One, just a closing note on that Packers game real quick. Serious take on it. I do like Packers there. I think Aaron Jones and Christian Watson they get 11 days healthier, and they were on a snap count on that Thursday night game. So I think that they're just a much better team. Second thing before we go, AJ and I, massive fantasy trade this week, or today.
Mm-hmm. Oh, breaking
Jesse
news.
Reactions. Yeah, want Jesse reaction.
Breaking news. We have a fantasy trade.
How about that? And everybody wants to hear about our
all right, how about this? Don't tell me whose was who, and then I'll just say who won the trade without knowing whose it was. That. Yeah, and then you'll reveal who's who.
It was Jonathan Taylor and Amon-Ra St. Brown for Patrick Mahomes and Christian Watson.
Oh my God.
You like that?
That's a blockbuster. That's
Wow,
really
that
gonna
is
be-
a blockbuster trade.
It is.
Amon-Ra
It's a biggie.
St. Brown and Jonathan Taylor for Patrick Mahomes and Christian Watson.
Yep.
Mhm.
Ah, man, well, I'm going to disappoint someone here, but okay. So I'm going to go with the winner of this trade is Amon-Ra Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
With the caveat of we're getting conflicting reports coming out of Indianapolis of one reporter, who knows if they have any credibility whatsoever, says, oh, he's absolutely not happy and still does not want to play with the Colts whatsoever. And then he's at full practice. All of his teammates are like, oh, yeah, we're so happy to have him back. Can't wait to see what, Anthony Richardson was like, can't wait to see what me and Jonathan Taylor do in the backfield. So if I'm taking what Anthony Richardson said, then without a doubt, the winner of this trade in my mind is Amon-Ra Jonathan Taylor. I also have him on my team. So take that into account. I have a little bit of bias there. I've been holding on to that Jonathan Taylor stock for a while. All around, I do like it, though, because, the best quarterback in the league and a wide receiver with big upside on the other side of the trade.
So I'll say one thing. I think on paper, I agree with you. I think quick copy. So AJ, I traded away JT and Amon-Ra.
Yeah.
I will say, though, my other wide receivers are Justin Jefferson and Jalen Waddle. So I wasn't
Context matters.
overly pissed. Like Amon-Ra, I tried to get Waddle out. I tried to get AJ to take Waddle. Wasn't happening.
Yeah,
obviously. So I would have rather kept Amon-Ra, obviously, but I had to get off the Daniel Jones train, and giving one of those three receivers up for Mahomes was my only way out.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it anymore. So I do like, if I did say to AJ, though, the news of JT practicing today almost made me stop it. Like that is such a kicker in that trade where, like, if he blows up, AJ wins that easily.
Yes.
And I'm gonna be so sad.
If he's 75% of Jonathan Taylor, he wins that trade.
Oh, yeah. It's just like that. It's gonna gut me. But no, it was fun.
It'd be huge for
good big
66% of this podcast if Jonathan Taylor's a beast for the rest of the year. So, I mean, let's play the odds here. Yeah. Shout out Jonathan Taylor. I do love that blockbuster trade. If I heard correctly, AJ did get the W this week, correct?
Oh, it did. And it was not close.
Oh, a beatdown?
And I quote from AJ, and I quote, I blew my wad.
we talking 200 points?
No, you couldn't get 200 in our league, though.
Our league would be tough, but it was about what you're thinking of 200, though, and whatever.
I've only seen one of those in my league so far. There's only been one 200.
Ours is half PPR, so it's a little tougher to get up.
True.
But, but it was 145 to 110, I think. 105.
Yeah, in a half PPR, that's a 200. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fucking.
And he only gets stronger with Amon-Ra St. Brown coming over to the squad.
We'll see. And JT potentially.
Yeah, hopefully Jameson Williams eats into some of those targets, because I did make a little play for him. I thought I was being the smart guy. We'll find out on the weeks to come on this show whether I was right or not. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Over the Line. This was episode 5, I think. We'll catch you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.